Housemaid blueberry sweet cream coleslaw. What? Look how beautiful this is. I'm so excited to try this. Oh my gosh. It's not too sweet. You can still taste the matcha, taste the blueberry. First, let's just address, don't look at my dead flowers, okay? I know I need to throw them out. Just never mind those. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna be doing a book vlog, reading vlog slash book vlog. I just recently started reading and I'm loving this hobby. It's gonna make me go broke, so that's one thing. We're gonna do some book shopping. We're gonna go to Barnes and Noble, and I'm gonna show you guys the books that I read, that I recommend all of them, and the book I'm currently gonna start reading in today's vlog. Okay, these are all the books that I have read so far in 2025, and we're gonna talk about them. The first book I read was Saving Noah by Lucinda. So this book is a thriller slash crime fiction book. The author is a trauma psychologist. If you're interested in reading this book, I definitely would suggest reading the back of the book before you buy the book, just because it is a major trigger for a lot of people. But I gave this book 5 stars. This book was definitely hard to read. I definitely had some tears in it, but it was a really good book. But it's definitely a hard book to read. The second book that I read was The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. This book, I gave it 5 stars. This book has short chapters. It has a really good pace, and I'm a sucker for short chapters. I can read a book like that. I read this book in actually 3 days. It was so good. So many different twists and turns. It follows the character Millie, which is a housemaid for the Winchesters, and she has to live upstairs in this like closet attic room. It has so many different twists and turns in it that I wasn't really expecting, which I love. It kept me on my toes the minute I started reading, because when she starts working for this family, there's different things about Mrs. Winchester where I was like, And then Enzo is like warning her about the family. It's so good. I definitely recommend reading this book. Third book is The Local Woman Missing by Mary Lubick. This book I gave 3.5 stars. This is a psychological thriller book. Basically, what happens in this book is there is a death in the neighborhood. This woman named Shelby ends up dying, and this whole neighborhood is kind of like really skeptical about what had happened to her, because shortly after, Meredith and her daughter Delilah ends up going missing. And then after 11 years, Delilah reappears because she was in this basement. She was held captive by this couple. It was a really good book. I would definitely recommend this book as well. I wanted to try romance. What? Me reading romance and not like a thriller, psychological thriller, crime? What? Yes, this book is everything to me. This book is Out on a Limb by Bonam-Young. This is like the most adorable love story. It does have representation of disabled people, which I love that. I think we need more representation of different communities, which I love this, and I think a lot of her books do have that representation. It follows Win and then Bo, and they meet at a Halloween party, and they basically hook up, and she finds out she's pregnant, and she's only met him once, and she needs to tell him that she's pregnant. So it's a pregnancy trope. If you don't like them, definitely read it, because this is like the way Bo like treats Win. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. I love it. I gave this 5 stars. I still think about this book till this day. I wish there was like a sequel, and it's a little bit spicy. I love this book so much, and it will forever be 5 stars. It was 5 stars before I even like got halfway through the book. It was so good. We're back in the thrillers. This is Then She Was Gone by Jewell, and I gave this book a 4.5 stars. And this one is a fiction psychological thriller. The one thing I did not like about this book is that this book started off really slow, and I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this book, because I'm just that type of person that if it starts out super slow and I'm not into it, I just don't want to read it. I don't want to watch it. So I was not really feeling the book at first, but then it got really good. It got really good. So Laurel Marks is the kind of main character of this book, and her daughter went missing 10 years ago. Now she's like living in the present time, and she's just like ready to move on with her life, and she meets this guy named Floyd, and his daughter looks very similar to her daughter named Elle. I don't know, you just kind of like, she kind of like does her like own little like small investigation when she kind of like gets the hunch like something's wrong. I definitely recommend this book. I actually just finished last night was A Housemaid's Secret by Freida McFadden. So you can probably already guess what book I'm gonna read next, which is in today's video. And I gave this book a 4 stars. Like I said, I gave the other one a 5 stars. And this one also follows Millie as well. And this time she's working for the Garrix family. And she has a boyfriend named Brock. He's a lawyer. And she's actually in school to become a social worker. And let's just say Mr. and Mrs. Garrix aren't the people who you think they are, okay? And the end was very twisty and turny, which leads me to this book, The Housemaid is Watching by Freida McFadden. I'm gonna start this book today. This is the longest book out of all 3 of them. But we're also gonna go to Barnes & Noble and pick out some other books. We're gonna go to Barnes & Noble. I don't know if I'm gonna actually buy anything. I don't really have a list, but I have some ideas of like the kind of books I wanna get. So I don't know. Let's just go. We're gonna go and snoop. Got some books from Barnes & Noble. I got 2 books I'm so excited about. So I got another Freida McFadden book, but I got the Inmate. This book, I'm so excited to read this book. I've heard a lot of good things about this, and I guess this book is about a nurse practitioner that works at a maximum security prison, and she and this guy that is in prison for like, I think maybe a life sentence or something like that, were high school sweethearts back in the day. So I'm super excited about this, and I looked and they are pretty short chapters as well. And one thing I love about Freida is that short chapters. So I got that. And then I got The Deal. I got The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I got that book. How cute. This one is I think it's a romance book. So basically the girl is a tutor and he is like a star athlete for hockey or something like that. Oh, it's the off-campus series, book 1. Okay, perfect. I didn't even know I got the book 1. But I did hear a lot of good things about the off-campus series. And then I also wanted to share some other books that are also on my TBR list as well. So after I read this book, I'm gonna start reading Funny Story by Emily Henry, because you know what, we have to go back and forth between thrillers, crimes, mysteries, and romance, you know, get a little flavor. So I got this book, and then my next one is by Abby Jimenez, I think, and it's Just for the Summer. So these are my other books that I'm gonna be reading. And yeah, if you've read any of these books, let me know how you like them. If you have any other recommendations, please let me know. This is tonight's dinner. I cooked up some crusted chicken cutlets and then just a Caesar salad. So nice and healthy meal tonight. I've never made these before, so. Matcha. So let's talk about the book. I'm on chapter 14. This book kind of starts off a little bit slower. So Millie and Enzo are married. I don't know if that's like a giveaway if you're reading the other books, but they get married. But they also have the book about them getting married, I believe. So I guess that's not really so much of a surprise, but they have 2 kids and they just moved into this house that they just bought. One of their neighbors is like flirting, always hitting on Enzo. And then she has a maid where she's always staring at Millie, and now this maid is like coming twice a month to Millie and Enzo's house. The other neighbor is just weird. And then there's also like a scraping noise inside of their house, which is interesting. So I have no idea like what's going on. There's some weird stuff going on in this house and like in the neighborhood, in their like cul-de-sac. So I don't know, it's interesting. I think so far I like the second book more than this book, and I like the first book more than this book as well, but so far so good. This tastes so good. Hi guys, it's hours later now and I have read a decent amount. 2 tips I want to talk to you guys about. One is an app and one is a reading journal. I have read 67% of this book already, and I actually use the app Fable to kind of track what I read, and they'll have like different reviews for the books. You can track like books that you want to read, what you're currently reading, and what books have you already finished. You can make your own reviews. It will like cover up any reviews that have some spoilers, so you can fully review the reads or the books that you want to read and not have to worry about any spoilers, which I love that about Fable app. For any people who do want to, I recommend Fable. I really like it. So the other one is a reading journal. Remember, if you forget all the books that you read and you want to know like what your thoughts were, what was it about, things like that, I definitely highly recommend a reading journal, whether that's just a notebook or something like this. I think this one's really good. It has a index where you can write the book title, and it has a daily reading tracker, and then it gets to your actual book review where you have the title, author, and then the date you started, and then the date you finished, and then some details like genre, page length, who recommended it to you, and then it asks you some questions about like things like what did you think of the book, what was your first impressions, and then some thoughts and quotes. And what I like to do is I like to just bullet point what the whole book was about. So my book journal has so many different spoilers. And then also at the back of the journal, it does have your favorite books. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about that really quick. But let's get back to The Housemaid is Watching. I have a little cucumber margarita. There wasn't a whole lot of like twists and turns like I wanted there to be. I just feel like it's very slow moving, whereas I feel like a lot of her other books were just more fast paced, like oh my goodness, like this happened. But this book isn't really like that, I feel like. But Enzo and this neighbor, I do not like this neighbor. Like, she is just like hitting on Millie's husband. Like, what are you doing? This is really making me mad. If you did read the first book, there's a character other than Enzo and Millie, there's a character that comes back into the book, which is cool. Actually, there's two. No, there's one from the first book and then one from the second book. So yeah, but I don't know, I'm still gonna read it, I'm still gonna finish it. It's still part of the series, but I feel like the first book is always gonna be better. But I'm on chapter 58 and like, what? Okay, so like I kind of figured that this person was being a little bit weird, but like, what? I don't know where the pieces are like coming into play. I don't know, and now I'm like, need to find out. I have one more chapter and then it goes to Ada's point of view, which is the daughter. So I'm interested to see what happened, but what I just found out was not good. Oh my gosh. Part 3. Let's go. Hello, good morning. Finished The Housemaid is Watching and I gave it a 3 stars. I had a hunch that one of the characters did this thing to this person, but like I never like kind of followed through with that thought, because I thought for sure like there was just a little bit of twisting at the end, but honestly it wasn't as many twists as I wanted it to be. And I just think the second book was a lot better than the third book, and the first book was way better than the last book. I can finally start Funny Story by Emily Henry. So we're gonna start this book in this vlog. We're not gonna finish this book in the vlog, so I'm just gonna read a little bit and see how I like it. Got my Dunkin'. I usually get a small matcha, but they gave me a medium with 1 blueberry shot, almond milk, and cold foam. So we are about 40 pages in, chapter 5, and so far it's good. She's moved in with her ex-fiance's ex, and so far they haven't really been talking a whole lot until this last chapter. They kind of started talking a little bit more. They went out and just, I guess, just trying to get to know each other, like letting their guards down and stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of how this book is going so far. But I am gonna end off this vlog here. I don't want that vlog to be too long. I hope you guys like this type of vlog, just super chill book vloggy. I really liked it. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.